The fall itself is over in a second, but the silence that follows, that can feel like an eternity. Your heart is pounding in your ears. A sudden, hot flash of embarrassment or fear washes over you, and one question echoes in your mind. What just happened? The fall itself is scary. There's absolutely no doubt about that. But the fear that follows, that creeping, quiet anxiety about what it means for your future, for your independence, that can be so much worse. If you have ever felt that way, I want you to know right here at the start that you are not alone in feeling this way. In fact, this feeling is so common and so rarely discussed that it's become a silent epidemic. And if you've ever told yourself, well, this is just part of getting older, I'm here today to respectfully and with the backing of a lot of medical science to challenge that idea. What we're going to talk about today isn't some secret life hack or a gimmick. This is a serious conversation about addressing the very real and often unspoken fears that come after a fall. We're going to provide medically backed guidance on what to do in those first critical moments, and just as importantly, in the days and weeks that follow. My goal for our time together is to replace that feeling of fear with a feeling of control, to give you a clear, calm plan that puts you back in the driver's seat of your own health and safety. This isn't just my opinion. The information we're going to cover is drawn from some of the most respected health organizations in the country, including the National Institute on Aging, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and the Mayo Clinic. Because the statistics they've uncovered are startling. According to the CDC, more than 1 in 4 adults over the age of 65 experience a fall each year. But here's the part that really gets to the heart of our conversation today. Less than half of them ever tell their doctor. Think about that. Millions of falls are happening in secret, swept under the rug out of fear, embarrassment, or the worry of becoming a burden. And that's the secret we're going to bring into the light. Throughout this video, we're going to walk through a complete guide. First, we'll break down exactly what to do in the first 60 seconds after a fall happens, a crucial window of time that can prevent a minor issue from becoming a major one. Then, assuming you're not injured, we will walk through the safest, step-by-step method to get back on your feet. After that, we're going to tackle the most important part of this entire discussion, the reason you absolutely must break the silence and tell someone about your fall. We'll talk about how a fall can be like a check engine light for your body. From there, we'll build a concrete plan for reclaiming your confidence and getting rid of that nagging fear of falling again. And finally, for any children or caregivers who might be watching, we'll have a short segment on how to have this conversation with your loved one in a way that is supportive and respectful of their independence. You'll want to stick around for all of it, because this isn't just about preventing the next fall. It's about ensuring you can live your life with the confidence and freedom you deserve. And a quick but important reminder, I am not a doctor, and this video is not a substitute for professional medical advice. The goal here is to provide education and empower you with well-researched information so you can have more informed conversations with your own healthcare provider. Your health is a partnership between you and your doctor, and this guide is designed to make you an even stronger partner in that relationship. So let's begin. The world has just tilted, and now you're on the floor. The first instinct for so many of us is to scramble, to jump up as fast as possible, brush ourselves off, and pretend it never happened, mostly to prove to ourselves that we're okay. It's a completely understandable reaction. It's driven by adrenaline and a little bit of panic. But the single most important thing you can do in that moment is the exact opposite. Don't move. For at least 60 seconds, just stay still. I want you to think of this as your strategic pause. This isn't about giving up. It's about taking charge. This 1 minute is a gift you give yourself to prevent a much worse outcome. In that 60 seconds, your body is doing two things. It's trying to recover from the initial shock, and it's sending you signals. Your job is to simply lie still and listen. This is your personal diagnostic period. Before you even think about moving a muscle to get up, you are going to perform a mental check of your own body. Start with your head. Did you hit it? Is there any dizziness? Any new headache? Any feeling of nausea? Be honest with yourself. Head injuries can be subtle at first and incredibly serious. Don't dismiss a little seeing stars as nothing. Next, work your way down. Wiggle your fingers. Wiggle your toes. Can you do it without sharp pain? Slowly, gently, try to bend your arms at the elbow and your legs at the knee. Is there a shooting pain anywhere? Does anything feel wrong or out of place? Pay close attention to your hips and your back. These areas are particularly vulnerable, and trying to stand up with an undetected fracture could turn a recoverable injury into a life-altering one. While you're doing this physical scan, also check in with your breathing. Take a few slow, deep breaths. This does more than just calm your nerves. It helps you notice if there's any pain in your chest or ribs when you inhale and exhale. That first minute is all about gathering information. It's the difference between reacting with panic and responding with a plan. If at any point during this self-check you feel a sharp pain, if you suspect you may have hit your head, or if you simply feel unwell or too weak to even consider getting up, your job is done. Your next step is to call for help. Whether that's using a medical alert device, calling out for a family member or neighbor, or using your phone to dial 911, that is the safest, smartest move you can make. Trying to tough it out is not a sign of strength. It is an unnecessary risk. True strength is recognizing when you need assistance and asking for it. Now, let's say you've taken that strategic minute. You've done your assessment. You haven't hit your head. You don't feel any sharp localized pain, and you feel strong enough to try and get up. The key here is to do it safely and methodically. Again, the instinct is to try and push yourself straight up. But that can strain your back and your arms, and might even cause you to lose your balance and fall again. There is a much safer way, and it's a technique that physical therapists teach every single day. First, you're going to slowly roll onto your side. Take a moment there. Let your body and your blood pressure adjust. There's no rush. From your side, use your arms to push yourself up into a resting position on your hands and knees. Think of it like a cat stretch. Just getting to this 4-point position is a victory. Pause here again. Take another deep breath. Make sure you don't feel lightheaded or dizzy. This is your base of operations. From this hands and knees position, look around the room for the nearest piece of sturdy furniture. A strong, stable chair is ideal. A sofa or a low, solid coffee table can also work. Whatever you choose, make sure it's not going to slide away from you. Once you've identified your target, crawl slowly toward it. Place both of your hands firmly on the seat of the chair to steady yourself. Now slide one foot forward, placing it flat on the floor so that your knee is bent and your foot is underneath you. You should now be in a sort of lunge or proposal position. One knee on the ground, the other foot flat on the floor. This is your launch pad. From here, with your hands still pressing down firmly on the chair for support, you're going to use the strength in both your arms and your forward leg to slowly, very slowly, push yourself up into a standing position. Turn your body carefully and sit down in that chair. And just sit. Don't immediately try to walk away. Sit for a few minutes. Let your body fully recover. Let the adrenaline subside. You've just accomplished something significant. You fell, you assessed, and you got yourself up safely. That is a moment of profound competence. Take a moment to acknowledge that. All right, let's just take a quick pause here. We've covered the crucial first moments after a fall, the 60-second assessment, and the safe, methodical way to get back on your feet. These are incredibly important physical skills that can literally save you from a more serious injury. And if you're finding this guide helpful so far, if it's making you feel a little more prepared and a little less anxious, I would be so grateful if you took just a second to tap that like button below this video. It really helps our channel reach and empower more people just like you. Now, getting your body up off the floor is the first physical challenge. But the next challenge, and for so many of us, the much harder one, involves your voice. It involves breaking a silence that is deeply ingrained in our desire for independence. It's time to talk about why you must, for your own health and safety, tell someone that you fell. This is the core of our conversation today, because it gets at the heart of the fear that Cautious Carol and so many others feel. The reason we don't tell our kids, or even our doctor, about a minor slip or a fall where we weren't hurt isn't because we're dishonest. It comes from a place of protection. We're trying to protect our independence. We're afraid that if we admit we fell, our children will start to worry excessively. We picture the hushed phone calls, the concerned looks, the conversations about whether we're still safe living alone. We fear that one small admission will be the first step on a slippery slope toward losing our autonomy, toward someone else making decisions for us. It's the fear of being seen as frail, of becoming a burden. And I want to validate that fear completely. It is real and it is powerful. However, hiding a fall is one of the most dangerous secrets you can keep. And here's why. I want you to think of a fall not as a failure, but as a check engine light for your body. When the check engine light comes on in your car, you don't just put a piece of tape over it and hope it goes away. You know that it's a signal, an early warning that something under the hood needs attention. It might be something small, or it might be something serious, but ignoring it almost always leads to a bigger, more expensive problem down the road. The National Institute on Aging emphasizes that falls are often symptoms, not just random accidents. Telling your doctor, "I had a fall last week," isn't an admission of weakness. It's you giving your doctor a crucial piece of diagnostic information. It's you being the CEO of your own health. That fall could be the first sign of an underlying issue that, if caught early, can be easily managed. For example, it could be a side effect of a new medication. Many common prescriptions for blood pressure or sleep can cause dizziness or unsteadiness. A simple adjustment to your dosage or timing could solve the problem entirely. But your doctor can't make that adjustment if they don't know the symptom, the fall, is happening. It could also be a sign of a vision problem. Maybe your glasses prescription needs updating, or you're developing cataracts. As our vision changes, so does our depth perception, making it easier to misjudge a step or a curb. Or it could be an issue with your inner ear, which is the command center for your body's balance system. A simple inner ear infection can throw your equilibrium completely off. It could even be a sign of something as simple as dehydration. I remember my own grandfather, a proud man who insisted he was fine, started having minor stumbles. After he finally mentioned it to his doctor, they discovered he was chronically dehydrated, which was causing spells of dizziness. The solution wasn't a nursing home. It was drinking 2 more glasses of water a day. Telling your doctor about a fall opens up a conversation. It allows them to review your medications, check your vision and hearing, assess your balance, and look for these hidden culprits. Hiding the fall closes that door. So please, reframe this in your mind. Telling your doctor is not an act of surrender. It is an act of supreme control over your own well-being. It is the smartest, most strategic move you can make to protect the very independence you hold so dear. Once you've taken that brave step of telling your doctor, the next phase of your journey begins, actively reclaiming your confidence. This is so important because a fall doesn't just bruise your body. It can leave a deep, invisible bruise on your psyche. The fear of falling again is a powerful force. We see this all the time in clinical research. This fear can create what experts call a vicious cycle. It starts with the fear itself, that nagging voice in your head. So you start to limit your activities. Maybe you stop going for your daily walk, or you turn down invitations to go out with friends. You avoid stairs. You move less. And when you move less, your muscles, especially the big stabilizing muscles in your legs and core, begin to weaken. Your balance, which is a skill that needs to be practiced, begins to decline. And what happens when you have weaker muscles and poorer balance? Your risk of falling actually increases. The very fear of falling, ironically, makes you more likely to fall. Breaking this cycle is essential, and it starts with a proactive plan. This is another conversation to have with your doctor or a physical therapist. Ask them directly, what can I do to improve my strength and balance and reduce my risk of falling? They can be your greatest ally. One of the most highly recommended activities for improving balance is Tai Chi. The CDC actively promotes it for seniors, and for good reason. It involves slow, gentle, flowing movements. It's like moving meditation. It teaches you to be aware of your body in space, improves your core strength, enhances your flexibility, and builds tremendous stability in your legs and ankles. If Tai Chi isn't your cup of tea, other activities like yoga, water aerobics, or simple strength training exercises using light weights or resistance bands can also be incredibly effective. The goal is to find something you enjoy, so it doesn't feel like a chore. The other half of rebuilding confidence happens right in your own home. It's about making your environment as safe as possible. Think of it as upgrading your home for smart, secure living. Start by doing a safety sweep of your house. One of the biggest culprits for falls is poor lighting. Make sure all your hallways, staircases, and entryways are brightly lit. Night lights in the bedroom, hallway, and bathroom are a simple, inexpensive fix that can make a world of difference for those middle-of-the-night trips. Next, look down. Are there throw rugs that can slide or have curled-up edges? It might be time to either secure them firmly with double-sided tape or remove them altogether. Clear the clutter from your walkways. Make sure there are no electrical cords or stacks of magazines creating a tripping hazard. And finally, consider installing some support. Grab bars in the bathroom next to the toilet and inside and outside of the shower are not a sign of weakness. They are a sign of intelligence. They are a tool for stability, just like a handrail on a staircase. Each of these small changes does two things. It objectively makes your home safer, and subjectively, it sends a message to your brain that you are in a secure environment. This helps to quiet that voice of fear and allows you to move about your own home with ease and confidence once again. Now, I want to take a moment to speak directly to those of you who might be watching this as the child, a caregiver, or a close friend of a senior you love. You may have noticed them becoming more hesitant, or you might have a gut feeling that a fall has occurred that you haven't been told about. The temptation can be to rush in with solutions, to say, "Mom, you need to get a medical alert button," or "Dad, you can't be climbing on that stool anymore." While these suggestions come from a place of deep love and concern, they can sometimes be interpreted as a criticism or an attempt to take away control. The most effective approach is one built on partnership, not prescription. Instead of starting with what they should do, start with listening. Find a quiet, calm time to talk and open the conversation with an expression of care. You could say something like, "Mom, I've been thinking about you, and I want to make sure you're feeling safe and confident at home. Is there anything that's been worrying you lately?" Or, "Dad, I want to be a good partner in your health. If you ever had a scare, like a slip or a fall, I hope you'd feel comfortable telling me so we could figure it out together as a team." Frame your concerns around supporting their independence, not taking it away. For example, instead of, "You need to get rid of these rugs," try, "I read that securing these rugs can make it even easier to walk through here without worrying. Would you be open to us trying that out this weekend?" The goal is to have a conversation where they feel heard, respected, and in control. Ask them, "What would make you feel safer?" Or, "How can I best support you in staying independent and healthy right here in your own home?" By making it a collaborative effort, you transform a potentially tense confrontation into a loving and productive partnership that strengthens your bond and genuinely improves their safety. So, as we bring our time together to a close, let's just look back at the powerful tools you now have. We've turned that moment of panic and fear into a plan. You now have a win for your health. You know that in the first 60 seconds after a fall, your job is to stay still, breathe, and perform a calm assessment. That's your first victory, replacing panic with a plan. You also now know the exact physical therapist-approved method for getting up from the floor safely, protecting your body from further injury. That's your second victory, technique over instinct. And perhaps most importantly, you understand the incredible power of your own voice. You know that a fall is like a check engine light, and telling your doctor isn't a sign of frailty, but a sign of you being the smart, capable CEO of your own health. That is a massive victory in mindset that protects your long-term independence. And finally, you have a clear roadmap for breaking the cycle of fear, using movement, exercise, and smart home upgrades to rebuild your confidence from the ground up. You are not a passive victim of aging. You are an active participant in your own vibrant, secure future. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. My hope is that you leave this video feeling not just informed, but genuinely empowered. Now, I would love to hear from you. Which of these points was the biggest aha moment for you? Was it the concept of the 60-second strategic pause, or perhaps the check engine light analogy? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Hearing your stories and insights helps our entire community learn and grow together. And if you enjoyed this deep dive and want more content designed to help you live a strong, healthy, and independent life, please be sure to hit subscribe and ring that little notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Be well, stay empowered, and I'll see you in the next one.